Hey, good morning out there. Jeff D. AIMC, healthsolutions.com. We are live for our weekly health and wellness tip for you. Behind me here, Saxonville Beach, Framingham, Massachusetts, on this hot, humid day here. It's ready to jump into that lake back there like those kids back there. So this week, I want to ask you a question. How are those joints doing? You know, those creaky joints, the elbows, the knees, your calves. Are they making that creaky noise, like noise? Or do you have a lot of pain or inflammation in your joints? Have you had to have your hip replaced, which is one of the bigger joints? Have you had to have a knee replaced at a young age, especially if you're in your 40s, 50s, even the 60s? If you had to have surgery like that, there is some issue there, right? And a lot of times what causes the most pressure on your joints is, and we talk about this a lot, is excess weight, right? When you're overweight, your joints are working harder than ever, right? They're like a grease. It's like a hinge, right? If there's a lot of weight on a hinge, what happens to that hinge? It breaks down. Your bones break down. You get osteoporosis. Things happen, and you just feel miserable, right? You don't feel right. You don't feel healthy and all. So your joints are very important. And I'm gonna tell you straight out, I'm in almost my mid-50s now. I do have those creaks every once in a while too. Right? When you get older, that's just what happens, right? It's just like anything else. It kind of breaks down over age. But there are ways to take care of that, right? I'm gonna tell you straight out what to avoid first, and then we'll get into what helps. And you hear this a lot. I say this almost every video. Right? Sugar. Anything sugary that breaks down your joints. That's almost like sugar takes a chisel at your joints and breaks them down and inflames them. And that's why a lot of people that drink sugary drinks, anything from soda to those sugary fruit juices or anything like that, and even alcohol, it breaks down. The second thing is red wine. I can't believe this. I love red wine, right? It's an antioxidant, but because of the alcohol content and the sugar content, it breaks down. All right, so let's get into the positive things, right? What helps? Hey, it's summertime. Fish. Fish is awesome. Mackerel, salmon, anything like that. That's why fish oils, and I'll get into supplementation a little bit later, is really good. But any fish really helps grease those joints well. Avocados. Avocados are awesome. Really good, really good. And then, hey, us Italians, olive oil. Olive oil is awesome for joints. I know you're not going to have olive oil straight up as a drink or anything, but any food that has olive oil in it, sometimes you dip like vegetables in olive oil is good, and that goes into any vegetables are good generally. But a lot of other things that really help, a lot of foods that help is any nuts, walnuts, cashews. It's just the oils in the nuts help your joints, helps build up kind of greases them up a little bit to make them functional and not make those creaky noises. And then, of course, as a drink, and everyone knows this, water. And, in this humidity, when it's humid like this, of course you have to you increase your water intake a little bit more, and that really helps. And I do notice this myself, just my own story, that I know when I don't drink enough water, even me, when all my working out I do, it's like, I get those creaky things every once in a while. It sounds like somebody's chopping a tree down. All right, so that was diet. Now, in the world of fitness, you have, a lot of runners, runners have a lot of issues with joints over time. I think what they got to do, and it's not to say stop running, but, increase your water intake, that, but increase those dietary tips I just brought up, nuts, fish, avocados, anything with olive oil, really good, right? But strength training, you have to, and I talk about strength training a lot, how important it is in your later years, especially is to hit the gym, hit the free weights, do some great workouts and mix that up. And, of course you can run, but really mix it with strength training, and that's going to help strengthen the muscles around your joints. So the whole idea is that really have nice, powerful muscles around your joints. So your joints are not where you're doing all the work. You're kind of tag teaming between your muscles and your joints. All right, so that's good. We talked about diet. We talked about some exercises. Strength training's the best, and then running, it's okay. But remember that really puts a lot of stress on your joints. So supplementation, curcumin is awesome. Fish oils, especially good fish oils like our own, right? Omega threes are really, really good. Fish oils grease those joints really well. We have a product called Isotonics Prime Joint Support Formula. Has glucosamine, which is an important ingredient, right in it. My mother, my almost 81-year-old mother, she'll kill me for saying 81. She's still 80. But she walks a lot, and she religiously takes our joint support on a regular basis, and she says all her pain is gone. She had pain in her joints, a lot of inflammation. You're getting older, and it's gone because what it is, that glucosamine and a little bit of magnesium helps grease those joints. So you're hearing something common here. You don't want to have things or do things that break it down. You want to do things that grease it up per se, and your joints are gonna feel better. And that's what, if you notice something in later years, that's been the most common thing you hear people having surgery on. And the last thing you want to do is surgery. You want to do things naturally. Surgery is not natural. So when you get to that point we need surgery, you really have to take a hard look at yourself and what are you doing that broke down your joints to begin with. All right? Is it your diet, your lack of supplementation, your lack of exercise, or you're just simply overweight? What is it? Deal with that first before surgery. Surgery is always a last resort. So always take a snapshot of yourself over time, all right, and see how you're making progress towards the positive side and getting those joints in shape. All right, so we are just here today, but man, we're gonna have an exciting weekend. We're gonna head down to Water Fires in Providence later today, and then Newport tomorrow. So that's my tip to you too is get yourself out there, enjoy the summer weather, because up here in New England, you never know. It's going to be gone before you know it. All right, have a good day. Jeff D. AIMC HealthSolutions.com.